The way he leaps off of rooftops and flips backwards to face the camera before falling into a headfirst dive is just full of the exaggerated swagger of a black teen.
That was really bad.
Games journalism. Why do we need it? Well, if you ask me, short and simply, we don't anymore. It's kind of an outdated medium. Gone are the days when you used to have magazines to look up game scores or find cheat codes. Nowadays, you can just type away online and find a million review scores from actual real people. So when you say to me, oh, I really like this IGN score, I say, shove it. Because I can just look on Steam reviews and see what other fat, stinky gamers like playing, instead of some pretentious know-it-all who studies in-depth game mechanics. I don't give a shit about none of that, man. I just want to know, is someone like me who's sweaty at 4 a.m., covered in pit stains and Cheeto dust rimming the fingernails, if they thought the 20-hour campaign in the 60-pounder game was worth my time. So as a whole, do I respect games journalism? No. Do I think it's necessary in any way? No. Do I think that independent creators are way better at analyzing stuff that fit your medium? Yes, because I subscribe to people who have my kind of taste, and when they review a game or a movie or something, I kind of trust their word, instead of some faceless journalist with blue hair sitting behind a keyboard, mapping out everything wrong with Zelda the Breath of Wild. So yeah, as you can tell, I'm not really a fan of it. But there is one person who warms my heart and who's brought me over to the dark side. Her name is Kate Gray, and I think I'm honestly in love with a woman I've never met. Or as I lovingly refer to her, the horniest gamer alive. You see, Kate is a journalist for Kotaku, a popular news site for video game related things. Or was, I have no idea if she's left the company since. Kate Gray's post on Kotaku. Kate Gray is a British games writer based in Montreal. She has worked for Xbox, GameSpot, and official Nintendo magazine before it went to the big news agents in the sky. She also has a Twitter, where she totes herself as an award-winning game journalist, an award-nominated game writer. Oh, looks like she's a streamer as well. She's a bit of a meme queen. Sorry, I got a little bit lost in her eyes again. I forgot the point I was making. I'm not crazy, right? She's kind of a baddie. Anyway, she is a journalist, but not in the way you would expect her to be a journalist. Because Kate doesn't focus on your boring old reviews of crap. Kate likes to focus on what she can fuck! Stick your fucking dick in! Because all of Kate's articles center around some form of sex. The uplifting tale of a dildo face, a sim who dared to dream. Blood Pact does sexy succubus BDS game the right way. In my Sims world, of only women, Marge Simpson is married to Taylor Swift. Sexting with a robot is just about as weird as you'd expect. And it just goes on and on and on like this. I love this woman, she's so great. And if you think I'm joking, no dude, I'm not. This is legitimately all she writes about on Kotaku. I'll read you a snippet from one of these. I think probably sexting with a robot is probably the best one. Does anyone remember Cleverbot? It was really popular around the time I was sitting at my Italian exam at university. I know this because I asked it if it could help me learn Italian, and it replied, pizza, pizza, spaghetti, cappuccino. Thanks, Cleverbot. That's quite a wholesome article. Last night I played a game called Cyber Sext Adventure. It was a lot like sexting with Cleverbot. Something every teen has attempted to do. I don't even want to say the words teen and sext out loud. I am fucking terrified my door's gonna get kicked in. If the corruption of Microsoft's Tay is anything to go by. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was the robot that Twitter made racist. Given that talking to AI is very peculiar and a particular experience, it's impressive that Stone and Leslie managed to recreate it. Ah man, I do not approve of sexting in any way, shape or form. If you do it, bro, stop. That shit will haunt you in a couple of years when you look back on it. I very, very firmly remember being about 13 years old and sexting some girl. And just the spelling errors and the cringe of me saying I want to rub your butt gives me fucking PTSD. You should just take nudes and send it to them. Not teenage girls, your partners who are legal adults. What I like to do to my wife every once in a while is I'll just take a picture of my dick, but like from where the balls are, so it's shooting up and my balls are drooping. Put your chin directly down like that. And then if you want to be really creative, you splash like water in your face and you shake around. It makes the photo really nice. Don't blame me if she stops talking to you. You see, Cleverbot works for crowdsourcing. It takes user responses that it's seen in the past and uses those to create a response to whatever you're asking. I played the game on a browser, which took a lot away from the intimacy of the experience. Absolute legend shit. I also want intimacy when I'm trying to fuck a robot. Light some candles, Take a swig of some wine. Ooh, maybe if you're feeling cheeky, have a little ciggy before you grab a thumb drive and shove it in your mouth. The bot will respond accordingly to your type responses, even taking the time to throw in an occasional photo. Okay. Nipples are sexy, I guess. Obtained from willing, consenting people with heads and other identifiable information, tastefully cropped out. Sounds a little bit too wholesome for my taste, Kate. I like to see the dirty and nasty in it. Have a look at one of your other articles then. Life got you down? Load up The Sims 4 and open a semen cafe. That is some motherfucking good clickbait. Damn. Will you marry me? There's a lot of potential in the mod scene that surrounds The Sims 4. You can tell your sim not to wash the dishes next to the toilet. Give them outfits that don't suck like the base game ones do. Or just make them get naked and have orgies. This week, I tried something a little different. Drink gross cum, clean up, set for sale or put in inventory. Ah yes, I too keep gallons of cum in my pocket. If ever need be and it's a really, really cold night, I like to take my hot cup of cum out, put it in my hands and just inhale its fumes. I've been watching a lot of Twin Peaks lately. I had seen it before, but as with most popular culture and behemoths, I'd seen the references in The Simpsons, so I figured I knew enough. Boring, skipping ahead. So, I fired up The Sims 4 and opened up a cum cafe. Because apparently Kate is British. I'm not British, but I live here. Listen, I can't explain it to you any better than that. It's a cafe that exclusively serves semen and semen-related products. Of course, how silly of us. It's like when you go to those bubble tea, is it called? Things with the little balls inside of them. They don't serve food, they just serve little lychee nut sacks at the bottom of a cup. That could be great for the cum cafe! Nut sacks of cum in cool drink. I can't explain it to you any better than that. I'm sorry, I thought it would make a good Kotaku feature, but instead I'm just deeply ashamed of my actions. God, imagine your job being able to fucking play The Sims and make a cum cafe and write about it. That's awesome. I downloaded a mod called Nisa's Wicked Perversions. I don't know much about Nisa, but I do know that Nisa saw it fit to include an item called Cup O' Cum. I can see the branding now. Have you heard of the franchise, Cup O' Cum? Yeah, they just opened a location inside Big Asda. In the creepy, dingy downstairs sex basement. That's that. It's artisanal cum. Farm fresh nut milk. Please, Kate, I will leave my wife for you. You were killing me. The ultimate crema. Hipsters want something new, something exciting. The next kombucha. I have to skip past this because it is two men getting milked. Don't tell me this is much worse than a cereal cafe. Other than the sex dungeon, that pot's kinda weird. As you might imagine, I had a few potential names for the cum cafe. Cum cafe is fine on its own, it's very artistic. Since it isn't actually called the cum cafe. Short list of names. Bunking Donuts, Cup-O Joe, Jambajids. Fucking God. Buster's Nut. I like Buster's Nut the best. That's got a nice little ting to it. Shit, I need to get some lighting on, hang on. Gone dark. Do you know what that name reminds me of? It's like a Ford commercial. I can see it now, the picturesque country in the background. A lone cowboy on his hat riding along the trail. The somber music playing.
If you're a hard-working man on that 9 to 5, after a long, terrible day of lifting up heavy debris, you'll need something to help you relax. Born in a small town of Montana, just down the south of the Mississippi River, lies the first location of Buster's Nut. We're proud to serve over 10 million hard-working Americans every day in our 100% authentic cum-and-ear restaurant, Buster's, because it's more than cum, it's family.
In the end, at my partner's suggestion, oh God, no! Saw the pride flag in her Twitter bio, I just kinda hoped that it meant she was bi. We named the cafe Come Hither. That's great. Quaint little nook decorated solely in white. Gotta stay on brand. Run by a lady named Milkmaid, who was as white as the beverages she served. Having to skip again because everybody is naked in this article. Also adding to the completely unsexy nightmare of the cafe I had created, a bunch of my custom content outfits had gone missing or become corrupted. This meant a lot of Sims, and I mean a lot, were wandering around town with their baps out. You fellas out there, baps means urethra. I know I opted into a lot of sexual weirdness of these mods when I opened up a semen hotspot, but there are children around, so I did at least attempt to remedy the Sims' sudden love of public indecency. It didn't work, so my solution was just to stand by the door and usher all the children out. Why were children in the cum cafe to begin with? Luckily, children have no money, so none of them actually made a purchase. Oh my God, this mod is detailed. Some of God even reports of your business. Sadly, Come Hither is not a successful business despite the cafe being consistently packed with curious customer potentials. Not many people are actually buying the goods. So far, I've only got $3,000. Can't think of why. It's probably the location. If you have the time, I want you to look at this woman's articles. She clearly works very hard on them, and they have brought me so much joy over these past few days. If you just type in Kate Gray Kotaku, they'll pop up, and her Twitter as well if you want to follow her on that. And then maybe she might finally give me my unrequited love, the attention it deserves. But until such a time, I'm going to carry on making videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hang on.
It's not a request. Goodbye.